Welcome, everybody, to the Final Score. I'm your host, Nicholas Marcinov, and today is our Christmas special episode. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Whatever holiday you celebrate, we hope that you have a terrific winter as we pull into the last stretch of December and 2020 as a whole. This is a show where me and a couple of great friends of mine, we all talk about who we think is going to win every NFL game, and at the end of it, whoever had the best overall record will win a jersey out of my pocket. Today, I am only joined by two of the greatest dudes on this planet. Typically, we do have a total of five, but today we only have three. So today, I am joined by Chris, the Dolphins fan. Chris, say hello.
Oh, I'm a happy Dolphins fan when they're 9-5 right now.
They are indeed 9-5. I'm going to give you that E. And I am also joined by my favorite Patriots fan, Tanner. What's up, my man?
Not looking good, bro. That sorry-ass post Cam Newton put on Instagram did not make up for how the season's going so far. So we're going to see, but it's not looking good for us. I think it's time for me to not tune into the NFL no more.
I didn't even see that he posted anything on Instagram. Before we go ahead and talk about the standings, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my bro, Brandon. He hooked me up with these brand new headphones for my podcast for Christmas. So thank you very much, Brandon. I know that you're listening right now on Spotify. Love you, boo. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these standings. As you can see on the screen behind me, this is how everything is turning out. It is so very close. I am still in the lead with 142 games to 82 losses, followed by Ben at 140-84, followed by Chris at 139-85, then DJ at 138-86, and Tanner with the massive week going 11-5, bumping himself from a huge deficit to 137-87. So he's in last place, but between second and last is just 4 games, and then between first and last is just 6. Guys, this is incredibly tight. Please tell me what your thoughts are right now about all of it.
Man, I need to get my shit together, dude. Freaking 8-8 ain't getting me nowhere.
Yeah, honestly, same thing with me. Look, when you look at how this is going, I got 11-5 this week. That's probably one of my best weeks. I think we were talking about before. I'm looking at like 12. I think my best week was 12-4, and that was week 2 with everybody else. If you guys haven't seen week 2, go watch it. It's on the YouTube channel. But basically, I'm looking good. But from the gap now, I know I've been saying that the gap is getting smaller and smaller. We're 5 away. I'm 5 games away from getting first place. So if I get almost like a perfect week, I could shoot up to first place. That means everyone else has to do very bad, not likely. But however, I'm 1 game behind DJ, and then I think 2 behind Ben, 3 behind Chris, and then 5 behind Nick. So it's coming to a close. What do you think, Nick?
Oh, dude, it is so tight. I sent the GIF of from White Chicks where the guy comes out of the like little mall and he's like super tight and everything. I was dying laughing because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm suffocated. I didn't think whenever I made this, I didn't think that we were going to be this close. I thought there was going to be like whoever's in first has 15-game lead, and so by the playoffs, I'll have to make some type of multiplier. But no, I'm just so thankful we're going till the Super Bowl because this is ridiculous right now. Well, okay. So we got that out of the way. Let's just go ahead and jump into our first game, shall we? It is the Christmas Day matchup, the Friday night game. There is no Thursday night game. It's only Friday. It is the 6-8 Minnesota Vikings heading down to the 10-4 New Orleans Saints. I'm going to be talking about this matchup. In this matchup, the Vikings lost to the Bears. And I know Ben is probably devastated because it was one of those lose and go home games where you're basically eliminated if you lose to the Bears. And unfortunately for Ben, the Vikings lost. The Bears got to a hot start, and even though the Vikings were able to come back and were trying to mount a comeback, it just wasn't enough. Whereas the Saints, on the other hand, they started Drew Brees, who we later found out was not 100%. probably shouldn't have played. And even for a veteran like him, he hasn't played in 5 weeks. So he was really off his game, and it showed. He didn't even complete half of his throws. He still threw for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, lost the game by 3 points. And there was a moment there that cost them a touchdown, was when Alex Anzalone couldn't recover a fumble from a punt return in the end zone. He kicked it out, got a safety, but that's 5 points off the board potentially. So that is rough. And in terms of this game, though, the Minnesota Vikings, they are in a do or die situation. If they do not win this game, they will be eliminated from the playoffs. Whereas the Saints, if they win this game, they will win the NFC South. However, this stipulation has been over their head for the past 3 weeks. And the 2 times that they could have won the NFC South, they lost to the Eagles, and they also lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. So right now we're on a 2-game skid. We don't have Michael Thomas. But I'm going to have to still go with my New Orleans Saints. The Minnesota Vikings, they really caused problems for the Saints in the postseason. Luckily, this isn't the postseason, so we should be okay. But I know I told you guys in the group chat, but I just want to see your faces as I tell you right now. The New Orleans Saints invited me to be part of their fan mosaic. And so on Christmas Day, you should be able to see me cheering on the Saints on TV. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much to the New Orleans Saints. It is an incredible opportunity to do this for a 3rd time this year. Thank you so much. Chris, your pick.
Okay, so I went with the Saints last week thinking that they could be the one to put the Chiefs at a 12-2 record. Fortunately, they came just short of making that happen. It's totally fine. It was, but they played against the Chiefs, who arguably are the best team right now in the league, and the Vikings are not the Chiefs by a wide margin. So with that, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I was going to say go with the Chiefs, but no, I'm going to go with the Saints. Drew Brees at first didn't look too hot, but when he came to the into like the late 3rd quarter, 4th quarter area, he started looking pretty decent. So, he just had to get into his groove. He hadn't been playing, like you said, for 5 weeks. So I think he just needed to find that nice little comfort zone, and he found it. Almost came back, but like I said, just fell short.
That's true. Tanner, your pick.
So looking at this week, I got to feel bad for Vikings fans, as you were kind of talking about losing and all that stuff. And I mean, we have a Vikings fan on the show, Ben. I don't know where he is, but
he's covering somebody's shift. So he has Christmas Day off.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
Isn't capitalism great? Anyways, guys, so what I was going to say was, in the words of Ben, he would say something like Drew Brees sucks, this and that. But I don't think Drew Brees is going to suck this game. I think he's going to do fairly well. So give me the Saints.
I don't think that Drew Brees is going to have back-to-back poor games. I think that he's going to do a lot better.
Yeah, if you're Cam Newton, you would, but we don't want to talk about that.
I know you're in pain, Tanner, but there's a hotline you can call.
I might need it.
Okay, I'll hook you up. Okay, but on that depressing note, let's go ahead and jump into the Saturday games. So we have 3 games on Saturday. We're going to go a little bit out of order, but first up, we have the 5-9 San Francisco 49ers heading on over to Arizona, where the 49ers called home for 2 weeks, to face the 8-6 Cardinals. And Chris, you're going to break this one down.
Ooh, the dry rub came through last week. They almost lost, but you know what? I'm not going to even mention it to the Eagles. But when I chose the 49ers to beat the Cowboys, I thought they were going to be able to do it. But somehow, some way, they got hogtied by a freaking Andy Dalton on a freaking steed named freaking, I don't know, Jeff or something like that. And, man, it's crazy to think that the 49ers were one of the best teams last year, and then you look at the record now, and you're just like, what the hell just happened? I mean, I feel bad for them because they are doing pretty lousy this year, and one of my cousins is actually a 49ers fan. Oddly enough, she's married to a Cowboys fan, so I don't know how that, works out. But I went against the dry rub last time, and they just slapped me in the face for that. So I'm going to go with the dry rub this week, and I'm going to give it to the Cardinals.
Okay, and Tenor.
It's kind of weird. Do you call this who has the home field advantage for this game? Does 49ers have it because they've been playing in Arizona, or do the Cardinals have home field advantage? I couldn't really tell you. But you got 49ers at 5-9. You got the Cardinals 8-6. That's a noticeable difference between the two records so far on the season. Cardinals are looking good. They're favored 59%, not a whole lot, but it's going to be a lot than some of the others I'm going to talk about coming up. However, I'm going to go with the Cardinals because, just home field advantage, I think, this time. I'm going to call home field advantage. It hasn't been prevalent this season because no fans means no home field advantage. But, when you got a state like Arizona where they're just kind of doing what they want, I think we'll have some kind of home field advantage. So.
All right. Well, for me, Tanner, I have a bone to pick with you because, like I said last week, after you talked about the 49ers, I was like, man, I am convinced that the 49ers will beat the Cowboys. And I even mentioned in the video I was going to pick the Cowboys. I'm not going to be convinced. However, I'm going to totally agree with you guys that it's going to be the Arizona Cardinals to take down the 49ers. But I'm very upset, Tanner.
I'm sorry. I'm the persuader.
It's okay. It was just one game. Could have put me up, but whatever. Let's go ahead and get into the next matchup. It's going to be the 9-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading up to take on the 5-9 Detroit Lions. Tanner.
So, you got the greatest of all time, right? You got Tom Brady. I mean, he beat the Falcons. I'm super happy that they're looking at a playoff picture for the Buccaneers. At least I can get one for actually two because, you got Gronkowski and kind of, I guess. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about AB. We're not going to talk about him. But basically, when I was looking at this game, they're favored like 75, 73% to win. That's pretty big margin. But look, you're going up against, you have Tom Brady, bro. And I know I'm going to sound like, I'm the average Patriots fan, but I mean, like I am. I mean, do you really want to bet against Tom Brady when he's looking at a playoff picture, when he's looking to take home another ring? So, anyone else can disagree with me. I don't really care, but I'm going with Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I really feel like they're going to do it this week.
Okay. For me, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win, they will lock up a playoff spot. However, the Lions have been looking a lot better since they released their coach. Not fantastic, mind you, but just a lot better. So I don't think that it's going to be a gimme game at all for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm still going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to lock up that playoff spot. Chris.
Man, as much as I love Matthew Stafford, I can't go against the Buccaneers, especially with the Lions having a 5-9 record and coming off a rough loss against the Titans, because it's just not their year. It hasn't been their year for I don't know how many years, but it's definitely not their year this year. I just want to bring this up. I did see this video where Matthew Stafford, I forgot what team he was playing against, but he got injured during the game. Like he dislocated his shoulder, and they popped it back in. He threw one more for a touchdown, and it just shows you how much grit he has as a player, that he, like, no matter how injured he gets, he just wants, like, he's like telling everybody, no, let me go back in and throw. And he fucking threw it. He did it. So, like, he's a true grit player, and it's sad to see him on such a really crappy team.
I couldn't agree with you more. Honestly, having so many teams just dilutes everybody. But it does give opportunities for more people. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. it's going to be the 9-5 Miami Dolphins heading on over to take on the 7-7 Las Vegas Raiders. DJ's not happy, but how are you feeling, Chris?
Oh, I'm feeling happy. And actually, you know what? Because everybody else has done it, I'm gonna do a DJ impression myself. Okay, so look, you got the Dolphins who are 9-5. They came off a win against the Patriots, and then you got the Raiders. Man, the Raiders lost by 4 points to the Chargers. Oh man, that game really sucked. Derek Carr got injured, and we just kind of looked sloppy. But Mariota, he came in and was just fire. It's just like, man, I don't know if I should be even like talking about this, but this is a really tough game. It's kind of a do or die kind of game for each team. Dolphins are looking at a playoff spot. I'm actually not even sure myself, not DJ, but I'm not sure if the Raiders are actually out of the playoffs or not. But
they're not officially eliminated.
They're not eliminated.
Yeah, they're on the bubble. They're number 9. You got the Ravens at 8, and then you got Dolphins who are in the hunt, so they're in the playoffs at number 7. But you have Dolphins in at 9-5, and then on the bubble you have Ravens at 9-5, and then Raiders are 7-7.
Right. Okay, well the Raiders are not out, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders. No, okay. In all honesty, I'm going with the Dolphins. I'm sorry, DJ. I know you'll be going with the Raiders because that's your team. But this week I am sadly picking against you.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm so sorry, DJ. I miss you, bro. I really do. Tanner, what's up? What's your pick?
This is going to be an interesting game because I'm going to say it. I really think the Raiders coming off a tragic loss to the Chargers. I really think it's going to matter on who's got the better kicker, honestly. Talking about last week's game with the Raiders missing something, I'm going to lay into the Chargers on this upcoming game. But this is a tough game. This really makes or breaks a lot of things because you look at the Ravens coming up. They're playing the Giants. I think we can all agree that the Ravens are going to beat the Giants, right? But if the Dolphins lose this week, Baltimore is going up. The Dolphins are dropping down, and they're going to be out of the playoff picture, and that's a big, big deciding factor. And Chris, I really want you and your Dolphins to go because I'm not going. We're not going, even though you guys smacked us up the other week. So, which not a surprise to me. I acted like it was, but it shouldn't have been. But Raiders are favored to win 55. This could be anybody's game, and I'm just very, very concerned. I want to go with the Raiders. I'm just gonna go with them. As much as I want the Dolphins to win, look, bro, you have the Raiders. They just lost to their arch rival, and now they're looking at the playoff picture. I think they're going to be really, really mad and want to come out there. So I'm just going to pick the Raiders. I'm not comfortable in either. It's a 50-50. I'm just throwing one up. So, but I hope that the Dolphins do win. But in terms of the jersey, I want the Raiders.
Oh, that is an interesting pick. So I kind of agree that it can go both ways, but it really didn't make sense to me 2 weeks ago whenever they fired the defensive coordinator for the Raiders just mid-season. I was like, you guys are on the verge of a playoff spot and you fire your defensive coordinator? And maybe if they still had him, they could have stopped the Chargers a little bit. And so with that in mind, I'm going to have to go fins up, baby. I'm so sorry, DJ. I want to go Raiders, but after last week, you were so frustrated, and I was frustrated. I don't feel comfortable picking them in this matchup, but love you, bro. All right, but with that in mind, everybody, let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. It is going to be a doozy of a game. We're going to be moving on over to the Sunday games, and we're staying in the AFC West. It's the 5-9 Denver Broncos taking on the 5-9 LA Chargers. And Tanner, you're going to break it down this game for us.
So it's interesting. You have the Chargers who just barely beat the Raiders. And that game, I would say, it was almost like some orchestrated. It was almost like it wasn't real in the sense of, like, it kept you glued to the edge of your seat. Like, they really just wanted to run up that ad revenue, I think, and just charge people money so they can make some more money for the NFL. But, Justin Herbert, he was throwing out, especially that last pass, to win the game against the Raiders, and then him jumping over and getting a touchdown for himself at the end. And overtime was a great game, and the game would have been different though if the kickers hit their marks. Both teams, Chargers and Raiders. I think the Chargers missed twice, I think 2 or 3 times that they missed very important goals. That's 9 points. That could have been a whole different game. But digressing, you have the Denver Broncos who've been swapping out quarterbacks all the time. I mean, you got Drew Lock back in. I mean, hell, they might even have Tim Tebow up here if Drew Lock gets injured again. We'll have to see. But this game is going to be a close game. Both teams 5-9. But after seeing the Chargers' performance, I am a little worried about them. But I'm going to go with them because I feel like them beating their arch rival, that they're going to have some type of thing to push forward. Even though both of them are out of playoff picture, this is more just for bragging rights. I'm going to go with the Chargers. However, I'm worried about the Chargers when they're going to play offense. And if Justin Herbert can pick apart this defense, because the Broncos have a pretty good defense. So we'll just have to see when it comes to. But give me the Chargers.
Okay, so for me, the deciding factor of this game comes down to situations. Prior to last week, the Chargers didn't win 10 straight divisional matchups. And I look at the Broncos, who are a divisional opponent, and I think back to whenever the Broncos led that massive comeback against the Chargers and won the game. I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to say that the Broncos do it again, but they're going to do it a little bit more comfortably this time. Chris?
Okay. I told you guys, I told Nick that at the beginning of, when we were just talking before the podcast even started, I did not talk with my legal counsel, anybody at all, about my picks. I'm going in just blindly this week. And after seeing the Chargers beat the Raiders, I'm kind of not convinced because, man, they had chances to score some points on field goal attempts, but, God, their kicker is awful. But the Broncos had a tough game against the Bills. And, I mean, there was no way they were going to beat the Bills. They're
not ready.
Yeah, they're not ready for that. But like you were saying, they did beat the Chargers back a couple weeks ago. And my boss always tells me, don't pick the Broncos. They're not going to win. And every time it seems like he tells me not to pick them, they end up winning. So I'm gonna defy his logic, and I'm going to go with the Broncos this week. I think, like you said, they're going to go comfortably into the lead, and they're going to stay there.
Jeez. I was being like, this is going to be a bold prediction.
I think he's going to be wrong this week, dude.
No, Drew Lock, I stand by that. He is actually a really decent quarterback. When they came back they didn't really come back, but they beat the Carolina Panthers when Carolina, I think, was favored to win. Mm-hmm. That was a good take right there. I mean, naturally it's the Panthers, but I mean, still.
True. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next matchup. This matchup I'm actually very excited for. It's the 10-4 Cleveland Browns heading over to take on the now 1-13 New York Jets. I'll be breaking down this game, and like I said, I am so excited for this matchup, not just because the Browns have reached 10 wins in a single season, which hasn't happened since, I think, 2007. But they're going up against the Jets, who are 1-13, who you can tell are trying to fight for their lives. Sam Darnold is trying to make sure that the Jets get out of a draft position so they don't draft another quarterback. Adam Gase is hoping to get a new contract. It is just bizarre land. And with the Rams falling to the Jets last week, and what I would say is probably the biggest upset of the weekend. Now, there was one other upset that I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later, but I think the Jets beating the Rams was the biggest upset. The Browns are now in a position where they can legitimately win the AFC North if everything goes right and they do what they have to do. And it starts with winning this game. Now, the Jets head office, they don't want the team to win this game, but players and coaches do not tank. But I think that the Browns just have a better offense. They have a better defense. It wasn't quite on display last week against the Giants, but I'm going to pick the Browns to beat the Jets, but I would not be surprised if the Jets hold them close like they have been every other week. Chris?
Oh, man, the Jets are just terrible. I don't know how they beat the Rams at all. The Rams didn't show up, apparently. They the Patriots beat the Chargers, who didn't show up. Then the Patriots didn't show up to the Rams game and they lost. And then the Rams did not just decided it's just a never-ending cycle of who beats who because they didn't show up. But the Browns are going to show up and they're going to win. Freaking Jets, they suck. I think there's going to be a lot better. The Browns are just a lot better of a team. I think if I read right somewhere that Dak Prescott, even though he hasn't been in the game since week 5, he still has more passing yards than Sam Darnold does, and that's kind of saying something.
Yep, it sure does. Tanner?
Obviously this is an easy pick, the Jets. No, I'm just kidding. The Browns. I'm picking the Browns. I mean, look, last week's game was crazy. I think all of us picked the Rams last week, but when I was sitting there watching the Jets, I was like, yo, how cool would it be if the Jets started to win? And I really think manifestation is when you speak things out, they come into existence. So Lamborghini, maybe we'll see, but yeah, I'm just that. We're not gonna say anything more. But basically, it was just very surprising. I mean, I was very happy to see the Jets win. Now that, like you said, they could be doing this alternative strategy where they don't want to pick up another QB, and I totally get where they're going. But they're gonna be losing again. It just depends on it's like who's gonna do it, Jacksonville or the Jets? Who's gonna be the worst? So we'll just have to see. But give me the Browns.
Okay, I love it. I am genuinely ready for this matchup. I want the Browns to do well and win the AFC North so bad. But let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. It is the 5-9 New York Giants going over to take on the 9-5 Ravens. Chris, you're going to break this down. Did I say 5-9 Giants or 9-5 Giants?
I think you said 5-9.
Okay.
5-9, yeah.
Either way, they're below 500. So whoever's listening.
Okay, so the Ravens are starting to pick up a little bit. They, God, both these teams I feel are like kind of decent. The Ravens are definitely the better team. I'm not gonna lie there. Like, there's obviously big difference between the teams, but the Giants are like trying to put something together. It's like they want to win, but they just can't. And I know Tanner has said New York is just a terrible team, never go with them. And, there's a few times that I have gone with them and they've just, completely just said, oh, you know what, this guy picked this team. No. So I'm going to not pick them this week and I'm going to go with the Ravens. The Ravens are just the better team to go with. They want to get into the playoffs. I know they do, but they're going to have to get past the Dolphins.
Getting past the Dolphins is going to be tough. Tanner?
Who would win at a battle? Freaking Raven or a Dolphin?
It'll be interesting to see. Land versus air. Or air versus sea. There you go. Sorry, Tanner.
You're good, man. Look at this game. Chris was talking about, I'd actually be a little more confident in the pick if I were you, because the Ravens are favored to win 80% in this game. They're favored to win 80% over the Giants. And I mean, look, number 1,000 times I said this: the Giants suck. Anything out of New York sucks. The Giants suck. The Jets suck. They all suck. They're all trash. And this week is going to prove it too. So give me the Ravens. I almost said Giants. Give me the Ravens.
I could give you the Giants if you want it.
No, I'm good. I'm trying to win that jersey.
I definitely was pretty confident. It's just I was trying to get somewhere to where the Giants are trying to put something together, but they just can't.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Okay, I'm not actually picking them, but
I was gonna say pardon?
I'm putting this because basically they're just going to take a giant L. And I just wanted to make a little pun about their name.
Oh,
but
I see the L. It's where the Y goes down. Okay, I see the L.
there you go.
It's like
If
to the
I can-
side.
Yeah,
Actually,
if you just take this stuff out, it's just there you go, a giant
me-
L. So yeah, I'm
me-
going to take the Baltimore Ravens to just kind of like give
fuck, I
the
can't. There we go. There's the L.
man. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Dude.
it's the L is like it's right somewhere over there. I don't know.
It's okay,
It's-
Spidey. Okay, but yep, we're all going Ravens, and I would have loved to have picked the Giants had they continued to be hot, but they stunk it up on Sunday Night Football against the Browns. But with that in mind, we're going to move on to our next matchup. It's going to be the 3-10-1 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 4-10 Houston Texans. And Tanner, you're going to break this one down for us.
This one's interesting. You have the Bengals with they actually beat the Steelers, which I think you want to talk about as one of the big upsets. That blew my mind. And I know we've been kind of talking about on the podcast, video, whatever you want to call it, that the Steelers are not that great of a team. They've had an easy 11-0 cakewalk, and now they're starting to actually get pressure put on them. And of all people, the Bengals with no Joe Burrow to beat the Steelers? It blows my mind. Like, it's just crazy. But not talking about the Steelers now. Now they're coming up against Houston this week. Houston being 4-10, like you said, and Cincinnati is 3-10-1. Houston's favored to win. 63% over the Cincinnati, and you have Deshaun Watson. He's a QB in my fantasy. He actually did surprisingly really well, and that's kind of the only reason I'm really picking the Texans. I don't know why I would pick the Bengals. The only reason I feel is because Deshaun Watson has proved me good in the past in fantasy, and I think he's going to prove me well this week. It's kind of a superstition. Doesn't really make sense. A lot of my picks don't make sense. You guys know that. I kind of just go off what the weather's like, what's happening in the political world, what's going on in the world. Because I don't know. I feel like everything kind of affects everything in this universe. So, but. I'm going to go with Texans. That's just how I'm feeling.
Tanner, I agree with you. I think last week, and I know I said it wrong whenever we were just talking earlier, was an anomaly. I think that, they got lucky beating the Steelers, honestly. I think the Houston Texans are just going to be a little bit better offensively and give them more struggle. Chris?
Man,
it's tough, right?
It's a tough one, but I think I have to agree with you guys. And I don't feel comfortable with it, though, because I feel like the Bengals, when they were playing the Steelers, from what I was watching, is that they were like on fire. Like the whole team just felt like it came together to beat a team that kicked their butts like a couple weeks ago when the Steelers were on their cakewalk. But man, the Texans are just, I feel like they just got beat by the Colts by the same score they did week 9 or something like that.
Oh, I could check it if you want fact check, but
oh yeah, please fact check that. But
okay.
On what game?
It was okay. So the Texans got beat by the Colts last week. It was 27 or 26-20.
27-20.
Yeah.
And the last time they played, it was 26-20. So it was almost identical.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Texans want to be good, but they just keep falling short. But I think they have a little bit better of a team to beat the Bengals. The Bengals are just coming off a high beating the Steelers. So I think their high is going to be coming down from this game.
Yeah, the 10-4 Colts are, I would say, a much different team than the 3-10 Bengals.
Yeah, definitely,
big time. Okay, well, great analysis, you guys. Great analysis, you guys, is what I'm trying to say. But that speech impediment is coming in strong.
It's the magic of editing, bro. It's like it'll never happen.
I don't do it.
You can't see me.
You can't see me. When I go like this, I disappear. But let's go ahead and get into the next matchup. It's going to be the 7-7 Chicago Bears taking on the 1-13 Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'll be breaking down this game. What can I really say about this game except congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars? You guys are now the sole holders of the first overall pick. You just can't mess it up. And knowing Gardner Minshew, you're gonna mess it up. Trevor Lawrence should be a Jaguar, not a Jet. I don't care about the market. I look at who is going to be better fit, and the Jets will kill Trevor Lawrence. But in all seriousness, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they got that first win week 1, and I was high on Minshew Mania, and then just, I kept picking the Jaguars because it felt like these were games they were going to win. They were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league. But that one win made me pick them 4 times. And then after the 4th, I was like, I'm done. I can't continue to pick these guys. Whereas the Bears, I hate the Bears. I hate that they started 5-1 and then they immediately just went on a terrible losing streak. But now they're starting to heat up a little bit more. Mitchell Trubisky is playing for a job next year to stay with the Bears. They already declined his 5th-year option. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason, especially when there's rumors that Carson Wentz might want to be traded. But the Bears are starting to heat up at the right time. And I think facing the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's going to be a good scrimmage game to prepare for the ultimate test next week. So give me the Chicago Bears to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Chris, stop looking at your phone.
No, okay. I just need to check a score. Okay, so the Bears, like Ben usually says about most teams, is that the Bears do well against crappy teams. So with a crappy team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, sorry, Minshew, I love you, but the team's crap. It was not last week, but the week before. The Bears absolutely mauled the Texans 36-7, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do against the Jaguars. I'm pretty sure a Bear could just demolish a Jaguar.
But before I get your pick, Tanner, I just want to give a little bit of appreciation to these logos that Chris and I have. Like, I wish this was their primary logo. This bear just looks so badass in the middle of the sea. I hate that it's just a sea. Do you agree, Chris?
Yeah, it's definitely I actually really like it. It's probably one of my favorite logos of theirs.
If this was their primary, I would love it. I would probably get a shirt with this logo on it. I love it that much. But Tanner, your pick. Are you going to be bold and pick the Jacksonville Jaguars, Gardner Minshew?
No, I'm not going to. I know you guys all love Minshew. I don't think he's that great. 1-13, I think, can maybe back me up on that. But I do like the Bears logo, however. But the reason why they probably never print it, it's too much ink, bro. And you got to print that. You got to print that jersey 17 times at minimum, because the jerseys get tossed up per how many players you got on the team. I think it's too much ink. That's my 2 cents of why I think they would never print it like that on a mass production. However, what is true and what will not be fair is the score this week against the Bears and the Jaguars. So give me the Bears. Easy pick for me. Easy pick.
This should be the Bears logo right here.
It looks like Tigger.
It's I forgot Jungle Book. I forgot what the Bears name is, but it's
Blue.
Yeah, blue. That should be their logo.
Got it. But just
that looks like that would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I was not going to talk about.
I was gonna say what Chris got on his T-shirt looks like those guys like on the side of like the street, right before you go inside the stadium. They're like selling the bootleg merch. That's what it looks like. It would be on a shirt like that. Just put a C behind it.
This is officially licensed merchandise. I promise.
Yeah.
But Tanner, let me throw this thought out there really quick. So you don't like Cam Newton, and if Trevor Lawrence goes down to Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew may be out of a job, and the Patriots are looking for a new quarterback.
Yeah. Okay, first off, I love thoughts, but I don't love that thought, if you catch my drift. So, you know,
I got it. Yeah.
but I you know what I mean? If he can come up and not do 1-13, I think I can take a revisit at him. I mean, look, he's got great hair. I will give that to him. Trevor Lawrence kind of got the same thing going on, and a stash too. But we'll see if we get Gardner Minshew next season. I'm just gonna wait 5 seasons to make sure that's the QB, so I don't be spending money on a new jersey every year, new QB every year. So
If
That's
Gardner
smart.
Minshew goes to the Patriots, and then next thing you know is freaking Bill Belichick will have a freaking stash next.
maybe.
Well, he was a 6th-round pick, and we saw how well the last 6th-round pick quarterback did in New England. So
Yeah, that's true.
who knows? Okay, but let's go ahead and get off this game. We're doing really well. Let's go ahead and talk about the next matchup. It's the 4-10 Atlanta Falcons at the 13-1 Kansas City Chiefs. And Chris, talk about this game. I'm too depressed.
Oh God, the Falcons. I've chosen them the last 2 weeks. Last week I was pissed off at them because they lost, and they lost again. I'm starting to feel like Ben when he started picking the Falcons in the first 5 or 6 weeks, where he's like, I'm gonna pick the Falcons, even though last week I chose them and they lost, but
Just really quick, he's back on that trend. I think he's only ever picked against him twice.
This is where I cut them off. You get 2 losses from me, and I'm going with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are on a steamroll right now. They are out for blood. They're out for that Falcon meat right now. They are not. They are vicious right now.
All right, and Tanner, your pick.
Easy. I was just looking at it to make sure I was going to say right. 79.3%. We call it 80%, but 80%.
I'm surprised it's not 95% or something like that.
Yeah, they got to make it fair somehow, but it's an easy win, bro. You got 13-1 Patrick Mahomes just steamrolling everybody. Honestly, we'll probably see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl this year, just the way things are going. But give me the Chiefs.
Oh man, I hate the Falcons. They blew the lead to Tom Brady again. They are 28-34 since Super Bowl 52, which is the final score of Super Bowl 52. When is it going to stop? When are they going to stop choking? It certainly is not going to be against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs this week. I don't care. The Atlanta Falcons offense could be explosive. I don't care. Patrick Mahomes is more explosive. We are going to be looking at the Chiefs locking up the number 1 seed this weekend. Ugh, gross. And DJ, I'm right there with you. If he was here, he'd be like, we got to stop giving credit to the Chiefs. But yeah, the Chiefs are going to win. Okay. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. It's the 10-4 Indianapolis Colts heading over to take on the 11-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be breaking down this matchup. And first off, Steelers, you feeling okay there, buddy? I see you guys are active on TikTok doing those little dances and everything. Trying to duet with L's? What are you guys trying to do here? What is the goal? Now, Juju has come out and said he'll stop dancing on the logo as if that actually played a part of it. But you guys are not good offensively, and I really think that it's because you have Juju as your number 1 receiver. Juju's great, but he's not a number 1. He should be a number 2 because he plays well, and if he doesn't have the double team, he plays great. The defense is solid, but teams are starting to figure you guys out. And you let the Cincinnati Bengals get up to a huge lead on you guys that you just couldn't come back from. It's amazing to me how much this team has fallen from grace. Whereas the Indianapolis Colts, they've been one of my favorite teams this season. I've been picking them. I feel like I've been picking them knowing when they can and can't beat an opponent. And Phillip Rivers, he's going to have a fun time against the Steelers. Now, they're not going to be able to get that run game going as well as they have in the past with Jonathan Abrams, but this should still be a pretty easy game for the Colts. And I want to just say congratulations to Phillip Rivers. Like, you got out of the Chargers and you're doing actually pretty well for yourself. So congratulations. But Chris, I want your pick.
Oh, you said something about the Falcons choking last pick. Man, talk about choking with the Steelers, dude. I mean, God, how can you go? I mean, obviously we know that they're fake good and they had a cakewalk the first 11 weeks, but man, how do you lose to the Bengals of all teams? Like freaking just hell froze over and they were just like, oh, you know what? The Bengals? Oh yeah, that's a tough team, man. We're not going to win this one. But the Colts are better. The Colts have had a strong year. They may not have an 11-3 record, but they are the better team. Their defense, I feel, is better. Their offense is better. Phillip Rivers getting out of San Diego / LA was the best thing for him going to the Colts, and it's definitely showing.
I agree. Tanner?
There's some I saw. It was funny about talking about Juju Smith-Schuster was that he's made more TikToks than he has receiving catches this season.
Oh yeah, he's made 94 and he has 93 catches or something like that.
Yeah, like something like that. And watching him get lit up was actually pretty cool. Even though I think he's a great player, I thought it was funny seeing him get lit up. I saw House of Highlights, ESPN. I saw that clip everywhere. I was like, yeah, he got blown up. So I mean, that's why you don't dance on other people's, things. I mean, I know in high school that I never played football, but I know people will like poop on people's freaking logos. I'm not even kidding. They sneak in like the night before and whatever, all this stuff. But regardless of that, the Steelers are favored. They're favored to 161, but I'm going to go with you guys on the Colts on this. My legal counsel has been pretty absent. I still love Brendan, but I know he would want me to pick the Colts. I think that's what I'm going to do because the Steelers, I think, are a fake team. They are just not as good as they seem to be, and they are how do I say it? Just a fraud. I guess you could say the Steelers are a little bit of a fraud in showing how good they are. So, give me the Colts.
Okay. And that is going to do it for these picks. Well, very good. Yeah, but what's up, Brendan? Miss you, man. Haven't seen you in the comment section ever, but miss you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. It's going to be the 4-10 Carolina Panthers taking on the 6-8 division leading Washington football team. And Chris, you're going to break this one down for us.
So I was told, I think it was either today or yesterday, that Christian McCaffrey is going to be out again. Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to be out for the rest of the season. There's only, 2 more games? Well, 2 more games, 3 weeks. So it's just like, he probably is not coming back, and the Panthers have not been looking great. I feel bad because I do like the Panthers. I love Teddy Bridgewater, but, man, I thought they were going to have a better year this year than 4-10. And Washington, Alex Smith has been looking like a stud again. And I'm going to go with the Washington football team. I know they may not have a name and they haven't been really that great this year, but I definitely think they have a better team than the Panthers. Alex Smith's going to probably go off and have a game this week. And they're going to be the division leading at 7-8 Washington football team.
Okay. And Tanner, your pick.
When you look at Washington, I mean, they had a pretty close game with the Seahawks. I know Russell Wilson hasn't been on his game all that much, but like Chris said, they do seem to be a better team than they show. They just miss ups. I don't know if it's with the name. You know what I mean? The name change. Maybe some of the players, like, oh crap, man, I went to the wrong stadium. It's not the blank skin stadium anymore. I can't say that word, but you know what I'm talking about. They're messing it up. They're getting things confused. But I'm going to go with Washington. I'm not that comfortable in picking them. They're 53% favored. That's really anybody's toss-up. Within the 5% margin, I think is anybody's game. So this could be anybody's game. But I think to feel safe and to feel that, we'll have a division leader at 7-8, Washington.
Okay, that's interesting. First off, I'm going to go Panthers. Now, the Panthers have bitten me in the butt many, many times this season. But I'm going to go Panthers. Dwayne Haskins was caught on camera without a mask at a strip club in Seattle, and he had to make a public apology
No,
online
no, it
for.
was Bible study, bro. It wasn't the strip club.
Yeah, with Bible
Oh,
study.
okay. Sorry, there were other leather-bound things there. So the question became who's going to be the starting quarterback because he broke COVID protocol, but it seems like the football team doesn't really have another starter on the roster. And Chris, I know you said he played pretty well, but just from what I saw, only putting up 15 points, he went 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, almost 300 yards. I think the Panthers are going to take care of business, unfortunately. I do like Dwayne Haskins, but I think this is going to be one of those games. Tanner, you were saying it's a toss-up. I think the Panthers
Definitely a
can get it
toss-up.
done. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this pick. So let's go ahead and move along to the next matchup. As soon as I change my background, I will say what it is. Oh, interesting. It is the 9-5 LA Rams taking on the 10-4 Seattle Seahawks. And Tanner, you're going to break this one down for us.
So, you know how we said toss-ups earlier? I don't know. I feel like I say this every week, and I do, but this is the closest I've ever seen it. It is literally the Seahawks are favored to win by not by a whole, by point. 0.2. 50.2. And the Rams are looking at 49.4 with a tie in the 0.4 margin, but 0.2, not even a whole percent. So this is a very, very 50-50. It could be anybody's game. Russell Wilson has not been on his game. The Rams definitely have not been on their game, losing to the Jets somehow, some way. Even though it was a small, only by 3 points, they still lost to the Jets. They lost to a winless team. So ridiculous in my sense, but this could go either way. I don't know if the Rams are going to get their act together and be like, yo, we just lost to the Jets, bro. We got to come up and blow them out the water. Or is Russell Wilson going to say, hey, I need to start making my marks. I need to start, throwing and actually making receiving yards and catches. I almost feel like I don't want to pick, bro. Like this game is just so uncomfortable for me. But if I had to choose one,
And you do.
and I do, I'm probably going to go with the second most bandwagon team, so I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Ooh, okay. And I like that you called them that because that is exactly what they are. I remembered back in 2014 whenever they went to the Super Bowl, it's like, wow, where did you guys come from? But here's what I'm going to do. I'm picking the Rams. And my reasoning behind this is every time the Rams have lost this year, they have always bounced back by beating the other team by at least one score. It's usually been more than one score. And so they are a bounce back team. They got embarrassed by the Jets. They play Seattle very hard. I'm going to take the Rams to beat Seattle. Chris, your pick.
I'm 0.2% is not a lot. And with the way both of these teams are playing, I'm going to give it to the Rams. One of my coworkers every week tells me, "Oh, go with the Seahawks. Oh, go with the Seahawks." But sometimes I just got to not listen to him, and I think this is one of those weeks where I'm not going to listen to him because I feel like the Rams have the better defense. I know defense isn't all about, the team and everything, but the way Seattle's defense is, I don't think that they will be able to handle Jared Goff. So I'm going to give it to the Rams this week, actually.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next matchup. It is going to be the 4-9-1 Philadelphia Eagles heading down to their division rival, the 5-9 Dallas Cowboys. I will be breaking down this game. And for this game, gosh, this is not a game I want to see. This was, I think, the week 8 game It was the Sunday night game, week 8, and I said this was the worst possible Sunday night football game, and I still stand by it. And unfortunately, this is another one of those semi-primetime games, so it's going to be on everybody's TV. The Philadelphia Eagles are a dookie team. However, they have hope because Jalen Hurts is being a madman right now. Last week, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals, but he still threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. Andy Dalton and the Dallas Cowboys, they played hard against the 49ers. They even recovered an onside kick for a touchdown. So the Dallas Cowboys, they're starting to not look like chumps, but this late in the season, I just really want to have madness in the NFC East. And so I'm going to say, let's make it even tighter by letting the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, your pick.
Ooh, okay. I don't like either one of these teams.
Nope.
And both of them, like you said, are dookie.
Absolutely.
But only the Cowboys have been to dookie. And I know that's not a super good way to logically think of like who's going to win, but I honestly think Hurts is actually going to bring the hurt to the Cowboys. I know they're on a little bit of a win streak, but I don't know. I feel like the Eagles, even though their record doesn't show, I think they're better than the Cowboys. I just feel like the way that they are playing as of late kind of shows that they are better. Andy Dalton may be on fire because he, got that win against his old team, but I don't see him winning against an Eagles team with Hurts at the helm.
Yeah, I think the Eagles see that with Jalen Hurts, their playoff window is still open, and so they're going to be trying a little bit harder than Dallas. Tanner?
Fly through that small window, man.
Look, I hate the Eagles, bro. I think Philadelphia is one of the. I'm not gonna trash Philadelphia. See what I did there? Anyways,
I got it.
Cowboys are terrible too. I hate the Cowboys. And like I said, I think the Seahawks. I don't know who's the bigger bandwagon team. Probably is. I don't know if you rank them. Probably put Patriots. Obviously not this season. I think everyone from the Patriots probably traded in their jerseys for a Mahomes jersey. I don't blame them, but we can talk about that later. I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Eagles. And I was really hoping you guys would say the Cowboys. I said, I want to be different this week. I'm going to sneak up right on these guys. I'm going to take a win and pick the Eagles. And look what you guys do. You guys go and pick the Eagles. So now I have to go with the Eagles because I was going to pick them before. I thought you guys weren't going to pick them. I thought you were going to do it with Andy Dalton and the Cowboys and make them go. And I'm like, I'm going to sneak up. This is my one way to get up. I'll be right up with DJ. I'll be sneaking up on all you guys, tickling you guys from behind, but not looking like it. Give me the Eagles.
Sorry, buddy. Not this week.
Please don't tickle me from behind.
Yeah, me either.
Only with consent.
Thank you. All right, but we're going to go ahead and move on to the next matchup. It's the Sunday night matchup, big game. It's the 10-4 Tennessee Titans heading on over to take on the 11-3 Green Bay Packers. And Chris, you're going to be breaking down this game.
Okay, I just wanted to. Okay, so last week the Packers played the Panthers. They won by 8 points. That's not a whole lot against a team that is basically on the polar opposite of the win-to-loss ratio. And the Titans are looking just absolutely on fire this year. They, I know last year they were pretty good. They got into the playoffs. And Ryan Tannehill has been just a stud after coming out of Miami. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, I honestly thought he was my favorite quarterback, but Tua's slowly coming up as one of my favorite all-time quarterbacks for the Dolphins, right behind Dan Marino too. Dan Marino's like up here, Tua's like somewhere down here, and then Ryan Tannehill's like in the middle. But as Ben would say, the Patriots, or not the Patriots. I'm sorry. I was about to go on. I'm looking at the wrong game. The Packers suck, and Aaron Rodgers is a hack, and that's why I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick the Titans this week because I feel like they have the better team. The Titans, like, I feel like if it wasn't for like a couple mistakes in those 4 games that they lost, they could be undefeated right now.
Ooh, Tanner.
I think the mistake you're making is not to do with the games, it's picking the Titans. You got to go with the Packers on this game. And let me tell you why. I've been hearing it all about. I got this one girl that I know. She's out in Texas. She's a huge Packers fan, but she's telling me that the Packers are going to do well, that they're going to go out and beat Titans. But 62% favored, that's enough comfortable for me to say, you know what, I'm going to pick Packers, even though Ben is a little right in saying that, Aaron Rodgers is a hack. He's a fraud. He's not that great. But however, I think when you pit two teams against each other that are not that bad, I mean, look, the Titans are good. When I was looking over it before the show started, I think it was we're week 16. I think it was week 13 that they played the Browns, and they lost to the Browns by 7 points. I think it was 42-35. And then, they beat the Jaguars and all that. So Titans are looking up and up. I think they're on a 2-game winning streak right now, and so is the Packers. But I think the Packers are going to come in and they're going to take it. It's going to be a tough game, but I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to. I think he's just going to do it. As much as you guys hate him on here, I know Ben hates him.
No, I don't hate him. I think he's pretty okay. Like, I don't absolutely hate his guts like Ben does.
Right. Different kind of hate, but I think they will do it.
Okay. Well, I'm one of those guys who he's not even in my division, and I hate Aaron Rodgers' guts. But here's the thing. Green Bay is like the Steelers. There's something about them. They're not that good. They're not as good as their record indicates. They only played crap teams all year, and the only team that they beat that was above 500, is above 500 right now, is my New Orleans Saints at the beginning of the season whenever we were coming off of a loss to the Raiders. Since then, Tampa Bay beat them, who were over 500, and the Colts beat them, who were over 500. Everybody else has been below 500. And so what do we gather? Green Bay can't play against good teams. Tennessee Titans are a good team. Now, if the Green Bay Packers can win, they will lock up the number 1 overall seed, but I'm going to say that the Tennessee Titans are going to make it hell for the Packers this weekend. Derrick Henry is going to go off on that terrible Swiss cheese defense of the Packers. So I also hate Aaron Rodgers a lot. But okay. With that in mind, let's move on to our final matchup. It's the Monday night game. We are getting 4 straight days of football. Fantastic stuff. It is going to be the 11-3 Buffalo Bills taking on the 6-8 New England Patriots. Tanner, break this one down for us.
It sucks, dude. Honestly, this is the first time in 12 years. That's over a decade. 12 years that the Patriots have not made the playoffs since 2008. That's when Brady was injured. So, do we have a system quarterback? We don't know, but I think we do. But anyways, you have the Buffalo Bills. I mean, the Bills are 11-3. They're at the top of the division. Like, they are in the playoffs. They secured themselves a playoff seat. There's nothing bad about them. There's mostly positive things to say about the Bills. You can say a lot of negative things about the Patriots, and I really don't mind because I'm very upset at them. You look at them this game, I think it's 60-something%. I wrote it down. Let me check right here. 58%. Bills are favored to win 58%, which is kind of odd in my opinion. I feel like it should be higher. But 58% over the Patriots. But, you have Cam Newton with a sorry-ass apology. And if you guys haven't seen that, basically, have you ever seen when you're on a keyboard or on a iPhone, Android, whatever, and you hold down the letter and it gives you different variations of it, sometimes with a comma or like an accent mark or just kind of weird characterizations of the vowel. He wrote the entire apology letter in those. So that's my thing about it, is like his apology almost seemed like it was a backhanded apology because I couldn't even read half of it because I didn't want to sit there and read it all through. But talking back to the game, I'm going to pick the Bills because I think they're going to do it. I think the Patriots are out for the season. I know Belichick is not a quitter whatsoever. I don't know about that for the rest of the team, but we're out. We're out of the playoffs, which is unbelievable. But at the end of the day, give me the Bills, please.
And I will give you the Bills. In fact, I will also be taking the Buffalo Bills in this matchup. And gosh, I was one of the guys prior to the season, whenever they announced that they got Cam Newton, I was like, you guys really shouldn't be counting out the Patriots, even though, they lost Tom Brady. I was like, it's Bill Belichick. He should be able to be good. But since then, 6-8 out of the playoffs. It's a rough. Chris.
Well, I thought I had more Bills than this, but here's your bill, and I'm gonna choose the Bills too.
Fair enough. Keeping it short and sweet. I like it. All right.
Speaking of them Bills. 600 or two bands. We don't know yet.
I'm going to. I don't think Ben sent his picks in the group chat, right?
I don't think so. I didn't see him.
I'll check right now.
Okay. DJ definitely sent in his picks, so if Ben did not, that's okay. I can go ahead and put them in the description whenever it's ready. Okay. Well, I'm just going to say he didn't, right, Tanner?
No, he did not. I just checked right now. We don't have picks from him.
All right, then I am just going to go ahead and break down DJ's picks right now. So he did go out of order a little bit. So for Vikings at Saints, DJ went Vikings. Buccaneers at Lions, he went Bucks. 49ers at Cardinals, he went Cards. Dolphins at Raiders, he went Raiders. Broncos at like I said, he went out of order. He picked the Chiefs over Falcons. He's picked the Browns over the Jets. He's picked the Colts over Steelers. Bears over Jaguars. Giants over Ravens. He picked the Giants over the Ravens. I am completely shocked by that. He has picked the Bengals over the Texans. Jeez. He's picked the Chargers over the Broncos. He's picked Washington over Panthers. He's picked Cowboys over Eagles. He's picked Seahawks over Rams. He's picked Packers over Titans. Patriots over Bills. And yeah, just wow. What do you guys think about those games, those matchups?
DJ, if you're watching / listening, what are you smoking, dude? Like, holy shit. I honestly am shocked that he picked. First of all, the Giants beating. Fuck, I can't even.
Giants Ravens.
You picking the Giants over the Ravens? Like, I know they're an AFC, kind of opponent, but still, like, holy crap, dude.
And I love you. I love you for picking my team, DJ. I'm glad that you still support them. I still support them, but I'm not happy with them. It's like a father that's not mad at the child, but disappointed in them, severely disappointed in them. I think that's the best way to describe my feelings. But he picked Cowboys, right?
Yeah, he picked the Cowboys over the Eagles.
Yeah, that's an interest. Actually, I could see that. I could say I could pick the Cowboys over the Eagles. The only ones and DJ, I love you. You can pick whoever you want. The only
Giants
one
over Ravens.
Yeah, the only one I would really disagree with you is Giants over Ravens. That's the one I would say no.
Oh, and the Bengals over Texans.
Yeah.
Although that one was kind of a toss-up, so I mean,
to be fair, keeping track of all the picks and everything, he does have a favoritism towards the Bengals, so
yeah,
it kind of aligns with it. But if everybody is still listening up to this point, I just want to say a huge thank you so much for watching our videos. The last video got a lot more support than the last couple of ones, so thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to us. Do you guys have anything you would like to say to our fine audience?
Yeah, thanks to the people that are on Spotify. I actually didn't realize how easy it was to find the podcast until a couple weeks ago. So if you find us there on Spotify or, you find us on YouTube, thanks for watching and staying tuned for these hour-long podcasts and, our shenanigans that happen every week.
Absolutely. And Tanner.
I want to say thank you to anybody that tunes in, regardless of what device or what you listen. However, I would say if you are on the podcast, just watch the YouTube video just for a little bit. I think you'll like it. Maybe just watch you'll like it. Sometimes watching video is nice, but that's just me. I'm a visual type of learner. I set out for a lot of things, appropriate, non-appropriate, but it works well for me either way. However, at the end of the day, thank you for watching. Thank you if you guys are subscribed. If you like this video, if you share it with your friends, it means a lot to us because, we do this for fun. Obviously, we're not doing this for money or anything, but it's nice to see that I would say hard work, especially Nick's hard work, because Nick's is really the one who puts all the backbone in this, and he's the one who really does everything for the final score. So thank you, Nick. But, digress. Have a happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Just enjoy it with your people and stay safe.
Absolutely. And that's the final score. Thank you and good night.